Dear jury, please concentrate one more time for our final slammer. About him, I could tell you so much. He's a social entrepreneur and a philanthropist in northern Uganda. And of course, he's also into journalism. He currently works as a freelance video news editor and a TV show host in a franchise of the Vision Group. What I especially appreciate is the effort he made to come here to South Africa. He had to drive 7 hours by car and take 2 flights to arrive in Cape Town. And in the night from Tuesday to Wednesday yesterday, he didn't sleep at all. But now he has recovered and got enough energy to perform on stage. A big applause for Pat Robert Laroubi.
Hello, Cape Town. My name is Pat Robert Laroubi. The Laroubi is trouble. I come from northern Uganda. We have had history of war for 20 years, and maybe because I was born during the war, so I'm a war child, but with a good history. That history pushed me into journalism because I wanted to rewrite the history of northern Uganda, and that's why I'm in journalism. For your point of information, I think journalism has gotten a new home, and the new home is Cape Town. When I was coming, I was told, "Are you coming to Cape Town?" I said, "To do what?" My brother runs a tour company. When he came to South Africa, he slept in one of the streets called Vilakazi. When he went back home, he started a tour company called Vilakazi Safaris. And I am the marketing manager. So I've been in South Africa without reaching, and here I am today. Thank you to the cast team for bringing me here. I hope you can also come to Uganda and enjoy Vilakazi Safaris. Now, my journalism story has been long. I've been a lifestyle photographer. I see so many clean people, smart people. I used to do a bit in war, conflict, and all these political scenarios, but that caused me a lot of trouble. I had to abandon my work and think about humanity. And for the last 3 years, I have been reporting on health and disability inclusion. So most of my story is about people and places. Diversity chart. A few years ago, I was given an assignment to go to one of the biggest towns, that is Jinja City. When I reached Jinja City, we had over 2,000 people who had come together. And guess who they are? Persons with albinism. They had come to celebrate the International Day for Persons with Albinism. And I was there. I listened to so many of the sad stories. However, because I love biking, I had traveled from Kampala to Jinja. And when I reached there, a lot of things were happening. During the International Day celebration, we had blood donation, we had a city bikers moment to show off. We were just on our bike. And I was like, yes, we need to give albinism a face. And I was among the bikers, just there enjoying my time. And we did a blood donation, we did the city band walk, we talked to people, we had theatrical presentation. All this was to create awareness around issues of albinism. Well, when I came back to the newsroom, I had had a lot of bad stories. I came and continued with my advocacy. I told the guys, we need to put in more effort in trying to change or rewrite the story of albinism in Africa. And a lot of things happened. I followed medical camps, I went in for eye clinics, I went for skin cancer clinic. That was now part of my advocacy because I had switched. And you would ask, why albinism of all the scenarios? Well, that's part of the skin clinic we had. We also thought there was a problem around issues of teacher-student relation. Many people didn't understand how to treat persons with albinism. So we had to do training for all the teachers on matters of inclusion. where we had teachers with albinism as well in a mixed school. That was very critical because many people were missing out on education. Personally, as I stand here, I know one-on-one over 5,000 persons with albinism based on the locations we have trapped them because of the situations they were going through. Now, you'd ask yourself, what is the situation? Maybe you take a look at this video to tell you why I was prompted to take on a lead in this struggle.
Ninakuwa na waalbino watatu, wanaume wawili na mwanamke mmoja. Kwa kuzaa ule mtoto wa kwanza alikuwa mweusi. Sasa kwa kuzala mtoto wa albino nilipata shida nyingi sana. Hata kwa familia yangu nilikataliwa. Hata kwa familia ya mume wangu nilikataliwa. Hata kwa majirani mimi nabaguliwa sana. Kwanza waalbino wanakuwa na shida nyingi. Ukizaa albino, kila mtu hata mchukulia kama ni mtoto mwenyeko kawaida. Anamchukulia kama ni pepo, watu wanamchukulia kama ni shetani. Unajikuta albino kuona yake ni shida. Ile dawa ya kusema isimamishe macho kusudi iwe naangalia mbali inaleta shida. Hata ona mbali, unajikuta albino anakosa raha na albino anahitajika sikose maji. Kia zaidi hapa kukambi tunahangaika sana. Tunateseka, maji kupata ni shida hata pale kwenye bomba ya zone. Hata kwa kusoma ni shida. Mtoto haoni vizuri hata kwenye tablo. Hata jua kusoma kama vile wengine watoto. Mtoto anakuwa hata muzigo hata beba. Mtoto anakuwa na shida mbalimbali. Hakikoga maji tu hata kama ni ya uchafu. Mtoto anaharibika mwili.
Wanangu alinizala naye Sayuni, aliniacha juu ya Sayuni junior albino. Sasa niko naye mie peke, ana baba, niko nahangaika naye humu kambi. Sayuni anateseka sana kwa masomo. Wanawapiga, wanatukana nguruwe. Tunaanza hata kuzichukia kuona tunazala maalbino. Pafua Sayuni anasemaka atajiua. Juu ya kumuita yeye nguruwe, anakuwa anachukia sana ile ngozi yake. Anakuwa ananiambia jua nini nilimuzala iko albino, lakini mimi namwambia ni Mungu, lakini yeye anakuwa hapendi sana ile ngozi. Huzuni kila siku ndani ya roho unakuwa na huzuni. Ukishazala albino unakuwa unaitiwa mulozi, unaitiwa vitu vyote vya mbaya vrema. Tuko na shida.
Ningependelea hata kuchuruza hata nyanya. Lakini nikipima kuchuruza hakuna mtu mwatanzi uza, kila mtu anakimbia anasema yeye hawezi gusa vitu kama ni vya nguruwe, kama ni yani anakamata mtu kama nyama.
Albinos have different problems, they have different challenges according to life spheres, but so far according to their main problems they have the like vision, skin and water what they use when they are bathing. They can't see very far. Their skin can't resist on the strong sunshine.
Thank you so much. Just relax and come back home. We're in Cape Town. Now, these are provocations that pushed me to do what I am doing today. It's what propelled me to be a voice. I was a journalist, I became an activist, and moved on to philanthropy because I needed to change the narrative. It's not about me, it's about me and you and all of us in this house. So that was very critical. Imagine you're seated next to someone and someone is thinking your ears can bring him money. That is the situation of person with albinism. Imagine you're seated next to someone and he's thinking he wants your tongue because your tongue can give him money. These are the superstitions I woke up to break, and I needed to break them. And I would not break them by speaking. I had to use media to change the narrative. It was hard. In my country, people think when you sleep with a woman with albinism, you get cured of HIV/AIDS, which was wrong. Sad story. However, all these are stories. Agatha here, she was raped. She has 6 kids for today. 3 of her children are fatherless. She doesn't know because people think, is she like any other woman? The problem is not albinism, but the mindset. The people need to change. When I started thinking about solution journalism, I realized the world had good things to be talked about. After all those sad stories I have shared with you, the mothers you've had, I only said, I need to do the movers and the shakers and start to talk positive about albinism. I looked for these guys who with albinism, with great stories like Peter Ogik right here. Peter told me, Pat, you know what? I'm a musician. I want to be like Salif Keita from Mali. Use my music to change the narrative. I am going to join you. I told him, the bus is still, we need more passengers. So he joined me, and we are doing our work. I met Olive Namutebi. She was a banker. I talked about her story being with albinism, but also working in the bank. And I told her, let's join the fight. Olive joined me, and we were talking about the same issues. You can see the place cards of what I've been sharing with you. We moved on. In one of the stories, I met Dr. Chaze, someone with albinism, and I told him, you are going to be the face of the children. That was a big story for me, and that is how I kept on changing the narrative of albinism in my country. I stepped back, I went into advocacy because I realized there were a lot of problems, and we continued giving medical support. The next picture will a bit scare you, but for purposes of presentation, you will just, we moved on to do medical support. You can see we are helping people with cancer, skin cancer, give them treatment, help save a life. From journalism into activism, I had forgotten that I was a journalist, and that was what I was doing. Every time I came to the newsroom, it was a different scenario. Somebody was talking about mental health. I nearly broke every day because what I saw, and when I got home, I had 2 different worlds. That is my life. Time is off. It's going backward. We continued with advocacy. I told the people we need to change the narrative. I went to schools. We had to do eye checkup for the guys. We had to give them sunglasses. We had to continue teaching more teachers on issues of inclusion. And while all that was going, this is a sad story. This mother gave birth to a daughter with albinism. They came to the husband and said, we want to buy your daughter. How much can we offer you? And the woman is like, it's not possible. And you know what happened? They looked for the husband where he goes to drink every night. They killed him. They say, since you can produce a kid with albinism, you have the blood and the gene. It's the first time someone with albinism, not with albinism, but because of the gene reflection, was killed in Uganda. Case under probe. To date, 5 years, no suspect. 5 years down the road, no suspect. And I am now thinking, should I be in the boat to go and make it happen? I am just a journalist. What can I do? I've written the story. It's a video, but you can't watch it to see some of the pictures there. But one thing that happened, while we were doing this, I thought of an idea. I was like, why don't I change the narrative? How will I change the narrative? I went to all these persons with albinism and told them, you know what? I want us to go for the Mr. and Miss Albinism. You need to show that beauty. You need to show that color. You need to show the glamour. You need to be like the Peters. I was like, is it possible? I was like, yes. So I organized the Mr. and Miss Albinism Uganda. Look at these girls. Someone wants to kill them. Someone wants to take their tongue, the hair. I was like, no. The problem was not albinism. The problem was the mindset of the people. And we needed to change that. Do you understand? Yeah. So here we are, and just like Peter and the others, we moved on We moved on, and I told them, what is your story? One of the ladies told me, I want to be like the South African model, Thando Hopper, who first made it with albinism on Vogue magazine, the front page. I was like, well, your dreams are valid. You will be a model with that face. One of the guys here said, I want to be a lawyer so that when I become a lawyer, I'll represent persons with albinism. That dream is valid. One told me, people think we are weak. I'm going to be a boxer. I'll give them a freak every time they play with me. There he is. You understand? And then another one told me, you know what? I want to be in the plane and just attend to my guest. When I was in the plane, I was thinking, I was like, oh, Kash has given me a time. Let me enjoy, but I didn't see one. I am praying one will always be there. But that is what happened. Oh, what is happening? Can I? Okay, well, just to sum it up, Henry, I'm going the wrong way. Just 1 minute. Okay, let me keep it there. One thing that happened is all that happened, a lot of stories were written about albinism. One of the biggest things that I also did during the COVID time, I told the people, I realized all the persons with albinism were suffering. I went to my friends, I was like, guys, you know what? I need to help all persons with albinism. What can I do? I didn't have an option. People were crying of hunger. People were dying in their houses, skin cancer. You saw the pictures. I went to my government. I told them, I need permit to move in the country. It's either me who is going to die or I'll have to reach the people with albinism. I took a solo motorbike mission. I started riding across Uganda. Here I am with my motorbike and my helmet here on my head. Every kilometer I was riding, people saying, how much is a kilometer? I say, donate whatever you can. All the monies I raised from my ride, I was buying food for persons with albinism. I was distributing sunscreen, and I told them, I will be alive, regardless of what happens. And all the time, I told them, it is well. That is the song. You want to? Are you ready with me? 1 minute, get up. Are you ready? Thank you so much. Thank you, Cape Town. Again, thank you for your time.
Pat Robert Larubi, thank you.